Okay, folks, good morning to everyone out there in the internet world. Welcome to our Tuesday morning art party. I am your host, Len, one of the team members here at East Coast Art Party. I just give you a special welcome to everyone that's been following along for, this is our third Tuesday. So we've got folks that have been joining us pretty much every day, and we certainly appreciate it, and we welcome you and anyone new that's here today joining us for the first time. Damon will be in very shortly. Quite a uniform he's got on today as well. Don't worry. And but I'll go over quickly what you should have in front of you in case this is your first art party with us. We use 5 different paints. Today being a daisy painting. You can really make it any color that you want, but the ones that we use are red, black, white, blue, and yellow are our colors. We've got 3 brushes, small, medium, and large, a glass of water for washing out the brushes, and a couple plates and napkins for mixing the paint and for cleaning off the brush. And of course we've got our canvas. We've seen all kinds of different canvases out there. We've seen paper, we've seen wood, we've seen plates, we've seen all kinds of different things. Use what you can. People are painting in the windows as well, which is kind of cool. This one would be kind of good for that. Yeah, hopefully it gets everybody in the mood for a little bit of springtime sunshine. I know today it's pretty cold out there, not looking like spring at all, but we're going to bring in a little bit of sunshine right now with Damon, the artist. He's going to show you how to do this. Before he does though, one thing I always like to mention is that if he's going a little too fast, or if you get distracted and you want to do something else, go to the washroom, whatever, you can press pause on the live stream. You can go back 10 seconds, forward 10 seconds, restart it, go right to the end, go to live again. So pretty flexible. That's why we're using this platform. We think it's great. And afterwards, if you need to see any of our videos, I think we're up to about 24 live videos. They're all at the videos tab on our Art Party Facebook page. So, without further ado, let's bring in the sunflowery Damon.
It's a daisy.
Oh yeah, sorry,
It's a
Dave.
daisy. We already did sunflowers.
My bad.
All right, so I'm feeling pretty today.
You're looking pretty.
Looking pretty.
Yes, you are.
All right. So the first thing we're gonna do is our background. We're gonna take our large brush. And I'm gonna explain it before we do it. All we're gonna do is with our large brush. I'm running into the wall here. Maybe move this. There you go. I'm trying to do this. I don't know what I'm thinking when I make these. I really don't. They're good for the intro, and then I'm like, I actually have to paint in this. Uh-oh. It's all right though. We'll power through. We're gonna start with our large brush and some blue. Now don't start yet. And we're just gonna go back and forth across the top. As we're bringing that blue lower with the same brush, we're just gonna start picking up some white on it. So it's got blue and white. And we're just brushing that back and forth so that it goes from blue to a lighter blue. And then the bottom third of it is a bit darker, so that's gonna be done with a little blue and black. Now I'll explain all of that again as I'm doing it, so don't worry. You can change the colors of this background. If you don't like the pretty blue, you can do whatever you like. It's your painting. There's no wrong way to do this. All right. Now I'm bumping into the wall again. The struggle is real. So large brush, we're gonna pick up some blue. Now we're gonna start brushing back and forth at the top. Now everybody's blue is gonna look a little different. Different pigments, different shades. That's fine. But make sure you paint the sides and the top of that as well. I'll carry that paint over the sides as we're going. And this is just background. Don't stress too much about it. You really want to spread that paint out. We don't want it too thick. So we want to be able to build some layers on top of this. Just nice long brush strokes. I'm trying to do this without turning my head too much. Keep hitting the wall. So I'm going to be looking at, I should set up a mirror. Oh,
that's next.
That's next. All right. up our game a little bit. There you go. So a little bit of blue across the top. And then while we still have blue on our brush, we're just taking little bits of white on it at the same time. We're just going to start brushing that back and forth so it kind of blends together. We just wanted to go from blue, a little fade into some lighter blue. But this is background, don't stress too much about it. We're going to take that down until we've only got about a third of our canvas on the bottom here bare. I'm not going to start the next step just yet because I'll give you guys a couple minutes. Well, a minute. Finish that. I know sometimes with background I move a little quickly. Might take you a second or two longer. That's fine. We're just looking for a nice fade from blue into a lighter blue with some white. Like I said, they're all going to be a little bit different. That is fine. Nice and streaky. We're not looking for straight lines here. Don't clean your brush out if you're already done, okay? We're going to need that brush still dirty with that blue and white on it. And again, make sure you paint your sides. I guess I can do that right now. I'm not the best at painting my sides. Jeff always calls me out on that. There we go. So I've still got a little bit of blue and white on my brush. Okay. We're going to take tiny little pinpricks of black on that brush as well. Tiny little pinpricks. Can't stress that enough. Because you can always add more, but when it comes to black, it's really hard to take it away. So small, small, small amounts at a time. You can see that on the camera there. Just a little pinprick. It's just a touch. Because we can always add more. So we've got some blue, we've got some white, and we've got our pinprick of black. We're going to start blending that into the bottom. So our painting went from blue, it's going to fade into some lighter blue with white, and then it's going to fade darker. If by chance you put a couple streaks on and you don't really like how that black's looking, you can fix it right away by picking up some more blue and white and brushing over top of it. Really stretch it out. Small amounts of time is key here. Really brush it out. Like I said, if you put a black streak on there and you're like, uh-oh, what do I do? Pick up more blue and white. Brush it out. Again, you can pause this video, you can rewind it, and then we leave them posted in our video section on Facebook, so you can come back at any time. Let's do it again. Now, after I finish this off with some of this blue, white, and black on my brush, we are going to let it dry. So we will be taking a drying break. This is just our base coat. So you guys can get caught up. You can take a little break, stretch your legs, go grab yourself some coffee. Really brush it out. Nice and simple. I don't usually worry about the bottom edge of my canvas when it's on an easel. If it's laying flat, you can paint the bottom edge. If it's on an easel, you can wait till the very end, and when your painting's dry, you can flip it upside down and paint that bottom edge real quick. That way it just looks a little better when you hang it on your wall, or when you go ahead and sell all of these on Kijiji because you're a famous artist now. There we go. So small amounts of paint. We don't want big globs of paint. We just want that whole thing covered. Again, it was starting with blue at the top, and then we were blending in some white, so we get this nice light section in the middle. Then I still had blue and white on my brush, and we were picking up small amounts of black and going back and forth. And that's our background. So once you're done with that, we need to take a break to let this dry. So make sure you clean out your brush and dry it off. We don't want that getting crusty. We'll give that a few minutes to dry. If you have big globs of paint, you can try and spread them out. Or the easiest thing to do is just go grab a blow dryer, give it a little blow dry. But we'll wait a couple of minutes, everybody can finish that up, and then we'll come back.
All right. Here we go. So, okay. No, I didn't unpause. All right. So we're on pause now.
Okay. I think we got to do that trivia question again.
Oh, no question. No question.
I'll shuffle my way out.
All right, I'll come back in. In fact, I think that trivia question was a little too easy, I think. I'll ask it again. So researchers say having one of these on your desk has been shown to lower stress and anxiety. What is it? That's the trivia question. Damon originally guessed a hammer.
I thought it was a hammer. Having a hammer on your desk would lower your stress and anxiety. Nobody would mess with you. See? All right, so we just need to make sure our painting is dry. I'm just going to fan this for 1 second. So if you have a guess for that trivia, just drop it in the comments there. Just want to make sure that this thing is dry, completely 100% dry. Just got a little bit of that blue paint on mine. There we go. All right, that'll do. Because our flower is going to take a couple of coats, different colors and whatnot. But we're going to start off with our medium brush and white. First thing we're going to do is we're going to put it in the center of our flower. So it's like a nice big circle, but it does hang over the edge. All right. Doesn't have to be a perfect circle. It's going to be a thin coat of white. Whenever we're doing this with paint, always start a little bit smaller than you think it should be, because you can always make this flower bigger. But this is just a first coat on our flower. There will be more to come. So medium brush and white. Let's go ahead and try and get a rough little circle in here that hangs over the edge. Now you may still be able to see some of your paint through this white as we're painting it, but that's why this is a first coat. So spread it out, thin coat. Stand back, make sure that's kind of circle. It's kind of hard looking. Oh, that's not a circle at all. I know I'm in your way. Give me 1 second. There we go. That's a bit better. So we got a thin coat on the center of our flower. No big clumps of paint. We're going to take our medium brush, still using white, and we're going to paint in our petals. So this is a first coat on our petals, which means a thin coat. So we'll go ahead and do that. I'm kidding, I'll do them one at a time with you. First one we're going to start with. We're going to start with the big guy right here in the center. So I'm doing short little lines. Just a nice big petal. We want this one to be really long. There we go. I'll leave mine outlined for now so that you guys can see them. But we are going to fill them in with a thin coat of white. Now, every flower is different. Shape of the petals are going to be different. How many petals are going to be different? So if you need a quick reference, just look right here and you'll be good. So I started with that nice big guy right there. And we're going to start adding in some more. Again, we're starting off a little bit smaller than we think they should be, because we'll be able to change the shape of them, make them a little bigger if we have to. We're just going to get them all in lightly first, and I'm going to stand back to make sure that they're all, somewhat the same or the size that I want them. Every flower is different. I'm going to carry some of these petals over the edge of my canvas. So how are we doing on that trivia question?
We have a lot of people that got it right. I will,
Was it a hammer?
It was not a hammer. It was a plant. A plant is shown to lower anxiety and de-stress and all the rest of it.
Because that one wasn't obvious at all.
I know. Well, see, that's what I'm talking about. That was very accurate. All right. I'm going to ask another trivia question just over the mic here. I'm going to say, all right. So 40% of people admit to doing this when they go to someone else's house. It's not happening right now. Everybody's social distancing.
Should be.
But 40% of people admit to doing this when they go to someone else's house. What is it?
What do you guys do when you go to someone else's house? So I'm just slowly outlining my petals. Like I said, we're going to paint those all in. You do as many petals as you like. It's your flower. I'm going to stand back, take a look at them first. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. It's a flower. Then with a thin coat of white, you want to paint all of those flowers in. Again, we have other colors to go on top of this. So just spread that paint out. My flower might be in your way this side right now. Just give me 1 second here. We're just filling in those petals, and then I will get out of your way. That's pretty nice. Nice and simple. Thin coat of white. We want this to dry. Take your time with it, make sure that coat is thin. This paint dries fairly quickly. I'm just going to keep going around and I'm going to finish filling in all of my petals. Then we're going to go back to the start. We're going to do a thin second coat on the center and a thin second coat on the petals before we take a little break. Because then we're going to start making some colors and making this flower pop. There we go. Thin first coat. Thin first coat. Like I said, it dries fairly quickly, so my center's already dry. I'm just going to start back at the beginning, doing a thin second coat. And that'll give us a lovely little base to work on to add all these other colors. Oh, that's blue. My mistake. What's that? No such thing as a mistake. Just happy little accidents.
Sure, okay. So, what's the name? What's the name? Okay. So, I want to. Yeah.
Thin coat. And then a thin second coat.
What address did you put on the order? Her address?
Then we take a little break.
Okay. Well, as long as you got the address, I'll mod it off on the order.
Thin first coat. Dry for a minute. Thin second coat. And then we will take a nice little drying break. Since you guys want it so bad, maybe we'll do some more trivia. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Possibly. You guys want it. Or do you think one was enough for today?
Well, we had the other question out there. See if anybody got it right.
Oh yeah, we need the answer to that one first.
All right. So the answer. A lot of people actually kind of were on the right track. So, 40% of people admit to doing this when they go to someone else's house. Snoop through the bathroom cabinets and drawers. Ah, sneaky people. All right. What else do I have here? Okay, here's another question. I'll go in front here real quick. Let's see. This is most likely to happen in the kitchen than any other room in the house. And it's not cooking, which is true. But this is most likely to happen in this room more than any other room. What are your guesses?
What are your guesses? I don't know. We'll let you ponder that while we take a little drying break here. Let our flour dry.
We got our sound, buddy. You're all good.
We're good to go. Okay.
Yeah, we're good to go.
I'm just going to fan that flour for a minute to make sure it's dry. And you should clean out that medium brush and dry it off. We're going to use it for our next couple of steps here. So let's just make sure that's dry. Did we get the right answer? Did somebody in the comments drop the right answer? Maybe?
We had
some good ones. But I want to remind you guys, it's 11 a.m.
all right, spills, fire. We had a lot of we had a lot of pretty good answers. None accurate though. In the kitchen is the most likely place to have arguments.
Ah. So stay out of the kitchen with your partner.
Yeah.
Don't go in the kitchen.
Happens in the kitchen more than any other room in the house. Oh, there's one. Julia just said fight.
Fight.
I guess that's, not fist fight, but argument says
Throw down. Do your boxing in the kitchen.
correct.
Why not? Okay, so our flour's nice and dry. We're going to take our medium brush and our mixing plate. And we're going to make a pale yellow. Whenever you're mixing colors, you always start with your lightest color first, which means we're starting with a couple scoops of white. That should be right about there. And then we're going to add little bits of yellow to it. Little bits at a time till we get a nice pale yellow. And this is going to be for the center of our flower and some little accents on the petals. So little bits at a time. Again, everybody's yellow is going to be a little different. So is mine. So is my background. So is the shape of my flower. That's fine. Every time we do it, we get a new flower.
Do you remember the Bits and Bytes commercial?
The Bits and Bytes commercial.
Where every time the shtick was, this is years ago, that it was this cartoon guy and he said every time you never know what you're going to get as you when you put your hand in the Bits and Bytes, you take it out, every hand is different.
Every hand is different.
Yeah,
That's their slogan.
Yeah, that's their slogan. Anyway, his voice is exactly like yours. And I'm going to bring it up. And anyone out there can verify this. If you remember that commercial, hi folks.
Do I sound like the Bits and Bytes commercial?
Correct.
That's your next question.
That's my next question. Do you
Yes.
think he even sounds like that? I think he does, totally. So.
All right. I'll take it. So I made a little bit of pale yellow, and then always wipe your brush off on some paper towel after you mix it. First thing we're going to do is we're going to paint in the center of our flower, where we have that circle, with our pale yellow. This is where you can, again, start off smaller than you think it should be. And then we'll just make it a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger with some pale yellow. I'm going to stand back and see if that's a circle again. Not quite. Not quite. We'll just change the shape of it. There we go. So with that, lovely. Then still with some of that pale yellow, we're going to start adding in some accents coming from this down into some of our petals. Now we're going to be accenting the petals with some pink and light blue next, but they're all done basically the same way. It's short, rough brush strokes. We're not looking to have a perfectly straight line. We're not looking for that accent to be exactly the same width. So we're kind of being a little bit abstract on this part, which is one thing that I love with the paintings that are a little bit more abstract, it's a little bit more free. You can take a little artistic license with it. If you have OCD, just let that go right now. I know it's not that easy, but let's try. Okay, so lightly throwing in some accents into some of our petals here. I know I may be moving a little bit quicker, but that's because I want to get my flower head out of the way. So I'll stand back after I add these so you guys can see them. Very abstract. Little accents. We're going to be building on these petals. There we go. So that's how you paint a happy little sun. Thank you for watching. Have a good one. And I'll stand out of the way here for a minute so you can see these little accents of the pale yellow. When you are done those, or if you're done them right now, you can clean out that brush, you can dry it off. Also, while we're waiting for people to get caught up there, kids, it's nice and early. While we're taking a break, why don't you jump up, go give us like 15 jumping jacks and 3 laps around the table, then sit back down and we'll get back at her. So we have our pale yellow on. We're going to take our clean medium brush and we're going to make some pink. And again, we're starting with the lightest colors first. So we start with a couple scoops of white. Just so we got a little white on there. Then we start adding little bits of red until we get a nice pink that we like. Just whatever shade pink you want. Again, wiping your brush off after mixing a color. We're going to take little bits of pink, the same way we did the yellow ones, but we're going to accent the, well, I guess over here would be the top of the petal. And we're just going to keep it all on the same sides, the same side of the petal. Excuse me. Nice and light brush strokes. Kind of defining our petals a little bit more. Keeping that pink on the same side on every petal. And one more time, if we're moving a little bit too fast for you, I try to go to a pace that everybody can keep up. But if we're going a little too fast, you can pause, you can rewind. If you get a little distracted or if you run out of copy, hit pause, come on back. We got a few people watching from BC and Whitehorse, so it's really early over there.
Yeah.
They need their coffee.
Definitely need their coffee.
I need mine. You know, all that good stuff. Can't beat a good cup of country style coffee.
For God's sake.
No free ads.
I say no free ads, but yet you keep giving them free ads.
I'm trying to get us an endorsement.
All right.
I think he's looking at trivia right now.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. I was gonna look up another trivia question.
Yeah. Why don't you look up another one? I'm just waiting 1 second while they finish their pink before we go into some light blue.
All right. So, give me a second here. Just
Yeah, no rush, no rush. These guys are fine. You guys are doing all right, eh?
All right. No Googling. I want to know, where would you find the Sea of Tranquility?
The Sea of Tranquility.
Yeah. Where would you find the Sea of Tranquility? I like that question.
That's a good one. The Sea of Tranquility is in your own mind.
Uh-huh.
All Okay, so
maybe your sea of tranquility is
my
in your own
sea of
mind.
tranquility, yes. So we went ahead and made some light blue. Again, it's whatever shade light blue you like. We started with white, and then we started adding some blue to it till we get a nice light blue. Again, wipe your brush off before we start painting. And we're going to accent the other side of our petals. Again, nice and abstract, nice and rough brush strokes. There's no wrong way to do this. Like I said, it's a flower. They're all different colors, different shapes. Keep running into the wall. I gotta think these through better. There we go. Again, rough little brush strokes. We're not looking to be perfect here. And we have our light blue accents on it. After the light blue accents, you want to clean out that brush, dry it off. Because now we need to make two colors. So we're going to make two more. First one we got to make is orange, which I think we all can get that. That's a little yellow and some red. Starting off with yellow first. Little yellow. Stir in a little red, and we get some orange. Then we have to make some brown. To make brown, we're actually going to use three colors: yellow, red, and blue. And depending on your pigments, it's just varying amounts of it. Now we don't need a whole bunch of this, and I do have a little cheat sheet that I'll put up in 1 second. But I'm going to start with some yellow, about a scoop of yellow. Like I said, my pigments and shades might be a little different than yours, but to make it with these ones, I'm taking a scoop of yellow. We're going to take an equal amount of red, and then we're going to stir in a tiny little bit of blue at a time. And I do have a little cheat sheet I'll put up here and explain for you guys. So I took yellow, same amount of red and little bits of blue at a time. Until I get a brown that I like. Now my cheat sheet. This thing has come in handy. If when you're making brown, it is looking too purple, go ahead and add some more yellow to it. If it's looking too green, it means it needs more red. And if it's looking too orange, you need blue. Little bits at a time, and keep stirring. Take some practice. Even I had to tweak mine after I started. Small amounts at a time. Just reference this cheat sheet. I'll leave that up there for a minute. You can pause it if you're having some trouble. Small amounts of paint at a time to tweak it using this cheat sheet.
Folks, all right. Wanted to just tell you the answer to the question. A lot of you got this right away. Some of you were incorrect, but the Sea of Tranquility can be found on the moon. So congratulations to the winners. All right, Damon, things are looking good here.
Yeah, I think we're just about there. We just got a few little things left to do.
Yeah, I like it.
It's nice and bright, this one.
It is, yeah. Just like what our spring is going to be like.
Yes, pray for that
With any
bright,
luck.
sunny spring. Okay, so we have some orange and we have some brown. You can clean out your medium brush because we're going to start with the orange first. So with the medium brush, we're going to start with orange, we're going to move into some brown, and then tiny little bit of white. What we're doing is the center of our flower. This piece, right here. And we're going to be doing that with some light little dabs. So I'm just going to pick up some orange, we're going to do a few dabs on the canvas, and then we're going to take some brown, do some more dabs, and then some white, doing a few more dabs. This is just to get some texture in the center of our flower. So let's start with some orange on our brush. We're just lightly dabbing our canvas. Not too much rhyme or reason to it. Just to add texture. We're not going to clean our brush off in between these colors because we do want them to blend a little bit. got some orange on. Take your time with this. We got some orange on. I'm just going to start picking up some brown. Same thing, we're doing some dabs. Don't dab in the same spot too many times. You want to kind of move around. Now we do the same thing with a little bit of white on our brush. So we get all of those colors, all of that texture, that depth. And we can still see some of our pale yellow coming through. And that's the center of our flower. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. And then, of course, you want to clean out your brush, dry it off. Because we're going to use that one again. We're going to use that medium brush with some white, small amounts at a time. So whenever we pick some up, we wipe it off. And around our petals, we want a nice little dusting of white. So it's not like a full outline. I'll show you a little bit here. See, it's just a little bit at a time. Small, small, small amounts. It's not a solid line of white. It's not a perfect outline. Very small amounts, nice and light. There we go. Nice and abstract. So I'll give you guys a second to finish that. Because we're gonna start with some black in our small brush next. So I'll wait a second for you to do that. And this is what's really gonna make this painting like pop out. I know it's bright and colorful now. It kind of looks like I got some like neon yellows and whatnot. I think it's great. Nice bright flower. It'll look good in the window. You can put it beside the heart one that we did the other day. Show it off. while you guys are finishing that, with our little brush, we're going to start using some black. Now, to help this black flow a bit better, it's always good to dip your paintbrush in some water so that you wet the bristles. Then pick up a small amount of paint. Now, I just added some water into my little cup so that I don't have to keep going back and forth. But your water's probably right beside you. A few other things. When you're painting with your small brush in black, or any color really, hold it close to the bristles, like you would a pen or a pencil. Hold it really close. And then the lighter you press it against the canvas, the skinnier your line will be. So if you just take your brush and you just push it on there real hard, go like that, it's going to be a really thick line. But if you go gently and slowly, you'll get a skinnier line. So we got a little bit of water on our brush and then a little bit of black paint just to help it flow. We're going to start with the petals. And again, these are rough little abstract lines. We're not looking for it to be perfectly outlined. Let's start with black always makes a painting really pop out. I always love doing that. Save it to the end. Makes everything stand out a bit more. Small amounts at a time. I'm going very lightly. Take your time. I'm not looking to outline each petal perfectly. I'm doing short little brush strokes. So they are a little rough around the edges. One petal at a time. Nice and slow, take your time. There is no rush to doing black. There you go. See how that makes that really pop out? Really stand out as a big happy flower. One more part, we got to put some of these black lines, and that's around our yellow center. But take your time on the petal ones. There's no rush at all. I'm going to put those in. Again, nice and short. Rough little brush strokes. And that's how we accent the center of our flower. Now there's no rush at all. Take your time. Go at your own pace. If you had to pause, if you have to get caught up, the video is going to be left up afterwards. But after you do all of those little black lines to accent your flower, you have to do the most important step, which would be... Sign it! Sign it! I hope you had fun. I did.
You look like you had fun.
A little bit of fun. Oh, pretty flower.
That is a lot of flowers on the screen right now. Anyway, make sure you thank Damon in the comments here, folks. He works hard at it, and well, doesn't get paid a cent.
I do it for the love. I do it for the love.
You know, he's good. All right. So, yeah. All right. I'm going to just walk in here. Once again, thanks, Damon, for showing us how to paint the daisy.
Daisy. It's a daisy. Yep.
I don't know my flowers that well. Anyway, I'm the trivia guy. Anyway, yeah. So we've got another event tonight, folks. So we got another one tomorrow. We're going to keep doing them. We're having a great time doing them. I hope you're enjoying them as well. Again, if you need supplies, head to our website. We're now doing delivery in the Charlottetown area, and we've got pickup locations in Summerside, and I think we're doing Montague tomorrow. So if you're close to those areas, that'll work. And yeah, any questions, just let us know. Other than that, we'll see you next time.